Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Trade the Pool live stream this morning. I am flying solo. No Michael, no Tim, no Rocco, nobody coming on to help me out. So it's just me and you guys in the chat today. So throw your tickers in the chat. Let's get going. I'll see you after this. How are you doing? Guns down, mouse is up. How are you, Nolly? Good morning to you. What have we got? Guns down, mouse is up. You have passed your program, and you're looking for when your interview can be coming up. I'm sure they'll be onto that pretty soon. If you've passed it, no probs. Nolly, what you got on? What you got on this morning? I'm just having a look at the overall market right now, which is kind of the NQ. It's taken another drop down this morning here. I'm just looking at the 2-hour chart, so it's kind of revisiting a level that we touched into yesterday. Just going to have a look at where we are on the NQ. So this is an area that the NQ could see some support from the bidders here. So we'll see what that looks like on a smaller time frame. So smaller time frame coming in. Yep, we've poked into their rejection candle. We'll see what it's got to do. On the lower time frame, there's going to be sell side. Sell side sitting around 18,293 for me. So watch out for that area there. Sell side liquidity sitting up there. Around 18,300 is the midpoint of that liquidity. But it was quite a bearish jump off there not so long ago. As we was just coming off the Globex session there, coming into the main session, which is just under half an hour away. VVPR. Yesterday we had VVPR and we were seeing a benchmark that held yesterday. I managed to short this in the afternoon as well on kind of a second attempt. So made some off of this. It did go down to its resting buy side liquidity pool, and then pre-market we've found it broke that sell side and it's pumped off the way. And it's put in a new high. The only thing I'm noticing is the pre-market volume today versus yesterday is lower than pre-market. And literally traded around 40 odd million odd yesterday. And this is not great at the moment. So we'll see if we can do. We got half a million there on that pump, which is almost the same pump from yesterday, which had 900k on the highs, right? This is you need to add all these up, but the high was 900k on pre-market, the high today being 500k, so half that. But we could see a huge amount of volume come in on the session open, so we'll see. At the moment, just looking to see if we can't get below that benchmark again and see if we can see a bit of backside on VVPR. Nolly, you're late to the desk since you got 20 centimeters of snow. Geez, where's that? That's yeah, we're just coming into spring here, although it's not unusual to see a bit of snow in England, but you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, you need to get that prep on now, mate. Get your moon boots on, get through the snow, and get that watch list sorted. Anything else? Let's have a look at Intel. So Intel's kind of been in the news overnight. We've got a poll on as to whether this is gonna be up or down. Morning, Tamara. How you doing? You're looking at L for Melly. Nolly, you're in Finland, hey? Oh, and I wonder. Next week to the Canary Islands. There you go. Which one are you going to? You'll see a bit of sun there. What, 22 degrees out there at the moment, I should imagine. Very nice indeed. So overlooking at Intel, INTC. They've published some financials overnight, and looks like their operating losses are going to be 7 billion versus 5.2 billion last year. So that is not good. So it's gapped down on the overnight. Although if I look at, let's have a look. If I'm looking at the daily on Intel, So this is a 2 hour. This is the daily pullback. So I'm not seeing, where are we? The pre-market is right at the bottom of this liquidity pool. So there is one down the bottom here at 36. We're currently sitting at 41.60. Let's have a look at where. Yeah, so we're right at the bottom. So I don't know if it's a huge panic. For me, this is just a normal correction, pull to pull. I think the problem for me here is if we break 41.50, not for me, for Intel, if we break 41.50, then we do have a gap down to 36. So I think it's going to be key as to whether anyone has priced in that news that's come out. And that was all based on their foundry part of the business. So that just means, you know, Intel's a chip maker. The metal that goes into the chips, they basically have a melting business. That's the foundry part of the business, and that's the part of the business that has, increased its operating losses over the past 12 months. So that's why it's gapped down today. But in terms of a trade, I don't know whether we'll see increased volatility off it. Double bottom right at the moment into that low. So we'll see whether it's been priced in or not. But certainly a gap down. But I'm guessing other chip makers are, what's Taiwan Semiconductor? Taiwan TDWC? I can't remember the ticker. Taiwan Semi. Oh, TSM. Let's see what TSM's. It's not a lot of different, and this is supposed to be saying that Intel's, widening the gap, whereas where TSM is kind of, running ahead, but doesn't really seem to be doing a very similar thing. It's had a gap down from 140, a couple of dollars there, sitting at its lows, double bottom into its lows as well. So we'll see where that's sitting. I'm guessing if I look at 2 hours on TWC, it's also in its buy side, right? So it's also sitting its buy side up. So it's sitting on its 200 EMA on the 2 hour, and INTC is below its 2 hour, but I'm guessing on its daily then. Okay, yeah, so its pre-market is still above. We're down here, so still above its 200. So no panic really, unless you get below under there. But we are, as I say, on the gap of that, and the gap would be 41 to 36. Okay, that's Intel. We'll see what the results of that, up or down, going forward. Now let's see what's on the scanners today. Like I said, VVPR is there. It is pushing higher as we speak. So looking potentially to go and make a new high. Back to the 2 minute here. Yeah, so this is just tested the backside of that benchmark from yesterday. So want to be careful here if that has got supernova written on it. I think the key for me is whether or not we break exactly where we are now. So 840 and a close above 840, could see that coming in on the tape. We'll see if it does that before pre-market. So that's VVPR. Yesterday, what else was we looking at? NXL, so super low on volume today. That's above its benchmark as well. There's another one above, so we'll keep an eye on NXL. That's been going for multiple days now. Let's see. Right, so we still wouldn't have seen a first red day on this. Let's see if we can get out here. 2 hour. No, I mean, we've got a 2 hour wick on that. The previous support sitting up there around 3, benchmark up there at 2. Oh, the bogey level sits in the middle of those two, right? So also at the bogey level at 330. So we'll keep an eye on that. Today could be a first red day if we can close below that 260, get below this momentum. It's just been holding it up, these momentum moving averages. So close under there, 250. Might see us some backside on NXL today. If not, we'll keep an eye on what happens on the open for the buy side here. VVPR new high of day here on VVPR. So let's see what's getting on the scanner. ABIO, VNDA. ABIO has been and done, I think. That's have a look at 2 minute. ABIO crazy. So 160 roughly up to 460 in pre-market. Nice short of pre-market. Resting liquidity down here at 220. That one looks nice for shorts as it stands. Let's have a look. Ignore that height, didn't go for it. So sell side liquidity holding there. So most recent sell side that it has to really get past now. There is another micro one that is just tapped into the 340 to hold it. This is buy side. Buy side pull, sell side pull. The most recent one, it's just tapped into and is working off again. Right here, so 320. If we were going to draw that in as well, that's where it is. And 259, we have to watch at 260. Want to watch out for this area from, so it's a watch. Watch out for this area here. If we see those buyers coming in, they want to play the red to green color. Watch out for that. Otherwise, the resting target is going to be down here at $2.20 to $2. Oh, we got AMD Vishal to take a look. Trader for life. Trade the pool. When can I look for the interviews? Whoa, another pass there. Well done. Congratulations. You're all eager to get your interview in your time on YouTube. Love it. Excellent. Good morning, Futures Day Trader Billionaire. How are you doing as well? All good. Okay, AMD. We'll take a quick look at AMD for you. Vishal, we will check it out. Okay. Okay, daily we have been residing in some buy-side liquidity pool. We've tapped into the bottom of it, so essentially it's kind of done in terms of any more liquidity down there, but it can still hold. There is another one down here at 150. So there's a gap, and then also sell side up here at 205. So really it's what's going on the smaller time frames then. And on the smaller time frames, AMD has acknowledged and used sell side liquidity and has buy side down here, which it's just tapped into. So I think this is what we're seeing on the higher time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4 taps into this low side now. So if you get a break of, I'm going to say this buy side pull, so I'm going to go with 172. If you get a break and close under 172 kind of 50, then there's the gap on. So you'll be looking to short pullbacks if you're not getting in aggressively below that 172.50 area. So yeah, that's it. Look out for that. To the upside then, 205, right? If you're bouncing, if you do bounce off this 174 and close up, let me give you the micro level that we need to close above. So that high to this low, that's going to be a double top. There'll be one lower. That'll give us more of an earlier indication than the double top. We can all see the double top. So this is the earlier indication. Okay, so that's going to be sitting at 181.66 and a close above 183, let's say. Close above there and a push. Then we've got room to the upside for 206. Okay, so I'll just zoom out and let you have a little look at that again. So that's literally where we are. Dip buy down into this 174 area. Can see us push off. We'd need to break above 183.5 to then try and push up to 204. But bear in mind, AMD's, these semis are all kind of having a little bit of a rest from what they've been aggressively doing right recently. Let's just see what they've got on there. Yeah, I mean, anyone's going to want a little bit of a rest after that. So I think a decent resting place for this would be in the kind of 120s to 140s down here. Let it have a breather, get to its 200 EMA and see where we go. But that would be a nice gap to trade if we get it. But just have to see what the market gives us this morning, see what the opening price action is. We could meander in this zone for a few more days still, all right? Okay, trading for life, VVPR, Booger Poops. Yeah, we just took a look at that. New highs on VVPR, 590 is just coming off right now. So let's have a look at the 2 minute. So, yeah, we've just comparing the volume, right, from yesterday to today on this. Obviously, this is only pre-market. But even if I jumped into like, what, a 3-hour chart should give me both pre-markets. So the pre-market yesterday was sitting at 41 million. The pre-market today is sitting at, is that 6 now? 6 million, 6.1 million. So volume-wise, it's, you know, there's not a lot of buyers in this push. It's just the pre-market is very light on liquidity. So we'll see what comes in on the open on this. But there's really no levels above this. This is when it breaks a benchmark too. Look, it's pulled back, acknowledged it. It can go supernova. So all we can do at the minute, it didn't need the buy side liquidity at all this morning since it started running. So it was a miss here. So remember, if it's not coming back for it, it may not need it. This is the first one. It's used buy side. So that's the buy side at the minute. It's sitting at, that's the buy side. It's sitting at sell side. Oh dear. Let's get that right. Sitting at sell side. So if we're going to see another push, actually, let's just switch that on. The audio. So that's the sell side. So we're trapped at the minute, but I don't think we're going to be trapped for very long. I don't know whether it's waiting for the open or not, but yeah, anything above, you know, it's basically a new high as well, but anything close above 860 is going to be a new high. And then we could see a push, but I don't have anything above right now to say this could turn. It could just go supernova because this volume is negligible compared to yesterday's, right? So we'll see. Mihai, how you doing? You closed your positions in that last 10 seconds before the closing bell on VVPR yesterday. Yeah, so you took some off the short. Yeah, I got out, re-entered the short based on this price action up here on VVPR yesterday. So took that meat of that move. Okay, RVSN's being called out on me. Why is that? What's going on? Is that RVSN it just said? Looks like VVPR is just breaking that now as we speak. Yep, so let's see if that hits the tape. 865. It's looking for a little bit less on the money flow on pre-market than it is on the main. Yeah, there's RVSN. Let's have a quick look at RVSN. Tesla on the channel bottom. We'll take a look at that, Nolly. Oh, so RVSN shooting up again. Oh, we say. I was going to say, I'll record his ticker. $137 to $22 previously. Just looking at some normal stuff here. It's going to be... Yeah, it's breaking above. I can draw it over here and it wouldn't be if I could draw it to that tippy top. So yeah, I'm not getting too excited about that. Let's see what we've got on the intraday. Going from yesterday's close. Let's bring that down a little bit. Yeah, that's in a benchmark. That's in benchmark 1, 2 is going to be above it. Oh, where are you? VVPR new highs now. Template buy side. My bad. That's a benchmark. There's a benchmark. We bring that down. So this is just based on the activity that we are seeing at the lows yesterday. On the closes. So 255, 250 we could see, but at the minute, not totally convinced it's anything new here. Totally backside on Rail Vision from the pop, but if I was going to draw a liquidity pool on this, right, it would be super high. It would be literally up here at $14 if it wanted for another run. It's done it before, look. Except we put in a new low before. There's the kind of dead cat bounce that you see. So we've come in. Let's see what that looked like before. See if it's going to do it again. Yeah, so it just used the breadth of the liquidity pool there. So it would have been running up. So let's see if it's doing that again. I don't think... Oh, no, it could be. It's very aggressive. I think we're dead into it. So we're below it this time. So we're pulling back to the back side of it. VVPR going to new highs. Nothing stopping it this morning on super light volume. But there you go. That can go supernova. Yeah, so RVSN, not too sure. Still feel like we're going to have that limited off at 250 today. We'll see. So we've got things moving in the late pre-market at the moment. 9 minutes to go till the open. We'll put it on the watch. Me, how you sold it at 580, but you wanted to swing but wasn't sure. Yeah, you wanted to swing long or on that. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good idea. Now, yesterday I wouldn't have bought into that, but this morning it's certainly gone off like a rocket. Let's have a quick look at Tesla, bottom of the channel. All right. Let's get this up on the 2 hour. Yeah, I see. Yeah, bottom of it. Let's bring it up on the 4, get a bit more info on screen. So big down channel that Tesla's been doing. Sitting on the bottom of it, I've got a buy side liquidity pool that it tapped into at the prior instance of the low. That was that mid-March. So coming to look for that again. And then there's a gap between 152.55 and 140. If we can break it, but we could work this pool. We could accumulate down here. All I think at the moment is like we are very, very close to that. RVSN pushing as well. Yeah, so you've got pre-market. Yeah, I mean, we just got to wait and see here. If it makes another dip into this 161 area, we could be looking for a buy opportunity off the bottom of the channel and the buy side liquidity pool. But watch for that fake out of the channel. It can fake out of the channel before it comes back in and use up that liquidity. And that's the thing that again here, look, the fake out of the channel, it touched the first level. We've got a second and third level of that area to go. So we could push even harder today into that before we actually bounce off if we're going to get a close. Other than that, the moving averages, at the minute are all holding sell side. And the 200 EMA is still doing its thing on the 4 hour. So yeah, Tesla, we can look at that. Certainly a drop before it pops, I think, today. What else have we got? Anything on ABIO? Is that done? Yeah, that's that done. NXL. How would I get into? Yeah, good question. VVPR. So the only way you can aggressively get into VVPR is either, for me, on the break of the next sell side liquidity pool, of which there isn't one to cut yet. So the other way, which is very dangerous at these highs, given where it's come from already, it's doubled in price. Anything up here is a chase, but it's those consolidation areas. Like you've got it right now, right? I don't want to talk you into a trade. This is the consolidation area, no more than 5 bars. The green takes out the red and it goes on to another pump. If the money flow comes in on the tape, I will let you know if it does. So yeah, that's kind of, these are literally corrections. These can turn into sideways. That was a pullback to the benchmark there. This is pretty much the same though, but with these ones, you can just draw a little trend line across these at the top. And if you break the trend line out, then you can go. But yes, the only thing you do is consolidation plays into the momentum moving averages, really. But if I'm saying like that's negated, right, we've blown through it. I'm going to be looking for this one again, this buy side first, right? So buy side right now. You say, right, we're not going to chase that consolidation play, which means you might miss it, but your new level of buy side is saying, like, if it wants to continue, and this is very program trade-esque because the channels, the pullbacks, coming back one, going up 1.5, this 860 level would be what I think it would look for in order to push higher. So you can play the color change red to green at kind of 850, 860. if you wanted to get into that. But I don't have a target above right now. I can look at the daily, see if there's anything more above it. We have 4 minutes till the open. Nolly, you're looking at play DJT and MCD and Tesla. Okay. Just trying to look where we might see something off the lows here that's any higher. Yeah. We can do something down here. What? So coming off lows. Not like that so much, but this guy. Okay, so we're in there at 650, aren't we? We've already blown straight for it. There's no point in drawing that in. Then the only thing to say is the bogey level between there and we're at it pretty much right now would be halfway house, 825, something like that. So if we look at that now, what that looks like. All right, so there might be another play. We are above 825 clearly in pre-market, so $10 is, it looks like 950 to 10 could be what it's gunning for right now. Yeah, I'd rather see 860 than chase this, but it could exhaust up there, right? You can see that big candle appear right up there at 950, just bang in the space of 30 seconds. It could do that, but let's see if he's going to pull down 850s and then work its way out, and then you might have another decent trade on there. But whatever, come on, you're chasing. That is a big chase. He says when it goes to $20 on the supernova. All right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The low pre-market volume doesn't necessarily indicate it's going to be a low session volume. All right, so the NQ still coming up over here. So where are we heading on the NQ? Okay, so another decent push. Wow. Okay, so another decent push here. 224 would look to hold, if not pushing down deeper into this sell side, buy side liquidity here. So I think don't think there's anything on the buy side yet, unless we literally see some bottoming patterns off of the NQ. Right now, moving average play, color change, close below the green, playing out down here to the downside deeper into the buy pool. So maybe we've got two in here. We've got the bigger one. We'll see if this one reacts first. Okay. We have, 30 seconds till the open. I think we're going to take a look at VVPR, see if we get that pump to the 10s. Whoopsie. See if we get that pump to the 10s. Also be having a look at the Tesla. We'll see what comes in with Tesla here. Tesla just made a big pump to the upside. I'll say a big pump, $1. But let's see what we've got going in 10 seconds. 10 seconds for the open. And we're off. So we have 922. It's pumping. We are just going to throw in quickly on here just to check where it has to reject or close above. So here's the close above 924. No, rejection off of that level. So it needs to close above 23.24 if it's going to make a challenge at 950 to $10, and that would potentially be an exhaustion bar. We'll see how quick it does. It's not really gone for it straight off the open. Tesla's making a push higher off of its first push. There we go. Okay, so just keep an eye on this. So there's the close. There's the push into the 980s. Let's see what happens here. That can be an exhaustion push straight into the benchmark. Let's see what happens. And generally, if this does kind of exhaust up here, even if it pushes further in. I'd rather see the exhaustion come in, the pullback to a sell side liquidity, and then a drop back if it happens. But this is still, it's day 2, but it's still literally front side activity, right? Let's have a quick look at Tesla here. See if there's not a trade on Tesla. Okay, so just looking for that price action here, the last push down, the whole pre-market there earlier. Look, I'm going to use that, ignoring the switch on. The whole pre-market, like this session, if you want to look, we have used, and we stacked that on the bottom there. That's where we've come into. So, no, don't want to do that. And give me a CNV. So we are looking up here. So stacked and stacked. And then we can use the whole pre-market and see if that is going to stack anywhere further up effectively, to see where they might push to. So up there at 167.37 potentially. But it looks as though we have put in some spread at the bottom. Let's see. Oh, that's close. AVIO is on the tape. 1 second. AVIO is on the tape. And let's look at where this could go. So its benchmark off of pre-market lows is sitting up here for Tesla. So we'll see what happens up here at 166, 166 and a half, to see if it's just grabbing some best execution orders up there. Anywhere around here or a push into that benchmark would be nice. What was calling on the table? I said, where are you, money flow? Where do I have you? ABIO. Okay, so ABIO is pushing from, so the high's up at 450. That's going to be not quite buy side. This is just a moving average play, pushing up into the sell side liquidity. So at the moment, remains to be seen if this is not a short right here. Let's have a look at the last one. VVPR pushing again, new high on VVPR. New high on VVPR. So yeah, so we've broke the micro. There's another, this one here is from the previous swing. A lot of sell side there. There's a nice long, I think we got there's not a lot of space, but you got about 30 cents worth of space from 320 possibly to 350 on this if it pushes on ABIO. VVPR coming back to it. Okay, I like that 320, the way that's looking. So another attempt at 960. It looks like it wants to crack on this VVPR today. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times into that benchmark in the last 5 minutes. So it looks very, very strong. It looks very strong. Well, let's see what that benchmark does for it. Give it a second. RVSN. Or sent off of that benchmark up there, RVSN to come off. No, you want me to look at play? Dave and Buster's Entertainment Inc. I've never heard of that one, man. So, all right, let's have a look quick. All right, so you know what Michael will be looking at, right? Let's say, what have we got here? God, that's a mess down the bottom. Let me weekly that. All right, benchmark right where it is now, the gap. I mean, this is long term. Look how long it's taken to play this out and punch up to the benchmark, right? This doesn't necessarily mean it's got benchmark 2 in it, because it's not a small cap play. But the benchmark is right where it is all I can say at the moment. It is aligned with kind of previous support and resistance, the highest of which, where was this volume day? No, that was quite low volume, but the high of which is up at 73.75 or $70, right? So it's if I was to put these in, there's going to be one there and there's going to be one there. The benchmark driven off the spread that we saw at the lows, and another push here. ABIO sounds like it's getting money flow on the tape as well. So yeah, I mean, a break up of a break. You've already broken sell side liquidity, right? If I drew it in, it was sitting around 55. So there is a gap, but it's kind of a 50-50 on these like mid-cap plays as to whether or not they're going to kind of push any higher. So let's just keep an eye on that and see if the just make sure the sell's not on first, right? You've definitely just got a little trend on our hands in pre-market, post-market. Yeah, I'm not convinced it's a buy right now. So it's got to close above this benchmark. It's going to have to close above 69.58 for any long. Unless you're so eager to get into it, then you need to be looking for literally a momentum play, and that's kind of sitting. Well, let's just do that a bit bigger. It's normally above the bodies, but these bodies are very wicky, and wicks can mean top. So let's see what we've got on that. What is the Qs are pushing up? Let's see how high Tesla got. Okay, so Tesla, right, there we go. Right, so Tesla went to its benchmark. So now we're going to move this one out of the way, because I was just trying to show you that pre-market compared to where it can go for best execution. So it's gone to its benchmark up here, right in the middle, 166, and has come off. The question is, are we going to get confirmation that it doesn't need this level, or that it wants this level, I should say? Confirmation that it doesn't need it would just move away very quickly from it. Qs doing the same. Qs are into the 200 here on the 1 minute, so the Qs are rejecting this level as well. So Tesla is going to be looking for, I'm going to say Tesla's looking for 164.20 in the first instance. I'd rather it go back to the sell side and give an entry. VVPR could be seeing the end of that push. Let's see what the volume's like. Yeah, okay, VVPR into that mid level right there, and is coming off as we speak. Just going to check. Right, so the most recent one is closed below, so that's another confirmation for VVPR. Remember, you got to treat this as day one. It is 894 and below, so it's going to be looking for the lower one, which is a little bit higher now because we put in a new high. So that comes up here, and we're using it right now. So this is now the play, is to say, can VVPR get itself up and reject and say, yeah, no, I don't want a new high on this. That's me done for the session, or not. Remember, all the definition of my uptrend is buy side liquidity continues to hold and sell side continues to foul. So that's all in play at the moment, right? With our buy side is continuing to hold. We could foul this sell side liquidity regardless of this benchmark. And this is just, and obviously these pools are forming your I'll answer that in a minute. Great, Scott. So the so this is kind of this trend line. Yeah, if you build a channel right here now, let's build the channel. So if we're going from low to low bench, right, these are all going through the buy side liquidity pools, right? So that's our little channel that we have this morning on VVPR that has to break for a short. Similarly, what I'm saying is kind of 846 would be a better area, because I like it when these pulls basically break on me. So nevertheless, so great, Scott, quick question for you. How can you tell which stock is getting the most order flow? It's the speed of the tape. Whoa. Let's turn that off. It's the speed of the tape. So the speed of the tape, which I generally find comes, you tap into these boxes and then the speed starts to increase on the tape, which means more orders at a higher value are being placed faster on a market order, right? So not resting liquidity. There's not an order, a big order sitting down there on the dome. It's market orders that get released in this area that give it that push up aggressively to the upside. Seemingly, if I get to a sell side liquidity pool in it, I don't break it, but I tag in it and I don't hear, it goes quiet on the tape, then that's more of an indication that you could roll off of that and turn around and go down off that liquidity pool. If it breaks the 970 here and pushes, I would expect that to come in again with a flurry of orders, and that's what just shouts in my ear. It's I've got it programmed, the criteria programmed into Trade Ideas, which has just got a feed of all the data you could kind of wish for from each of the exchanges, and that's how I just turn it on text to speech, and it shouts the ticker in my name like it's shouting ABIO right now. Which is getting a push into this sell side. Okay, so we've seen it outside. I'm getting a push. Even though I'm in sell side, it's the push and break above this one and another one. So it's still being shouted at me right now. And the question is, at 360, does it dry up? Does it go? It has gone quiet right now. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. No worries. So VVPR. Just listening out for ABI. Okay. All right, let's leave on a second here. Just seeing if we've got anything better to go with. 356, 468. Not really seeing too much off of these lows here that you can go with. That's the highest one I've got on ABIO to go with. Oh, it's doable. It may be a double top on there. So ABIO on the tape again. Let's take that. So 366, 376. I'll do what I've done. I bought some yesterday and it worked out, didn't it, to 5. So we'll see if that. He says that and the tape's just dried up. Okay, just waiting. So this is it. If you dry up for a double top, there's going to be some shorts at this high. We'll see. It's just a teaser anyway, so it's no harm done if it closes back below. Let's see what we've got. Okay, that's ABIO. I'll keep an eye on that over here because otherwise I'll lose it off the radar. Okay, so what's got a hold for ABIO? So these are done. All right, they're finished. I'll leave them on there just so we could see what was breaking that caused the flurry of the push. Whoop. So if it comes down to 318 buy side, that's the thing that that's the level I would want to hold if we're going to go for 5. Otherwise, people are shorting pops, given that I'm probably, 30 cents off, 35 cents off this benchmark. But the bogey levels is smack in the middle anyway, so we'll see. It's not a totally convincing play. I'd much rather be doing this up here, but we have broken that sell side pull, so a bit of a chase. But there you go. VVPR. Back to that. So yeah, buy side liquidity pool holding 2 or 3 times now. Sell side not tacked into yet. So it's had numerous attempts where it can just push up there. It's deciding to push for a little bit more liquidity. That's why when you're getting these front side moves, really, it is dangerous, benchmark or not, to try and anticipate the sell at this time of day. The data this year has been showing they happen later on in the day, almost like an hour and a half before the close. Similar to what VVPR done yesterday. Right. So we was attempting this, and although we got paid in that early session, it took a while to do it. Let's put this on to New York's not -4 now, though, is it? What time we got here? So, yeah, it's kind of, the first initial push down, then it went to the buy side pull of the whole swing up in the session, and then hit the sell side, the benchmark again, and then sell side liquidity. And that was the nice trade for me at the end of the day. It just seemed easier for me at the end of the day. So push further down into that. Like I said, this would be a nice short if we could rush 945, reject, and then anticipating the break of this buy side liquidity pool. ABIO not giving up the ghost yet, so that still sitting in that sell side liquidity pool. What's Tesla doing? So there you go. Tesla benchmark didn't need the sell side liquidity pool, come straight down to its buy side liquidity pool. If this fails, then we have another area to go. Although this is not great. This is not giving me a lot up here in terms of where it could run to a sell side benchmark. So let's see if it gives any more clues on that. But yeah, a break of this 163.77. If we're anticipating that, there's the green bar. The red one didn't cover it, but we are covering it right now on Tesla. Let's see what the NQ. The Qs are double topped into that moving average. The Qs are double topped into kind of 439, 440. See if we can get a break and a close a little bit down here. A little bit more. Got this 30 seconds on this bar to see if it wants to take the bottom side or whether it wants to break. Meta looking at INTC, AMD and Tesla this morning. There you go. Well done, Meta. We'll take a look. INTC. Right, keep an eye on Tesla here. Let's see that. See how you just hang on that 30 seconds. You haven't hit the button on just the anticipation of the break. There's no confirmation of that break. We'll have a little alert here if we can. Did we get an alert? Oh, there they go, both on at the same time now. So that sell side liquidity is going to have moved because we've put in a new low down here. So that sell side is going to move all the way down, and it's going to get wider. There's 3 levels in here now, so I'm bringing that down to between 165.30 and 165.80. Else, it's a momentum. We're looking for momentum playing here. It possibly comes here. Another push down from Tesla. How many times did we hit that low? No. Let's see if we get that momentum play. I've shorted a little bit of Tesla there. ABIO is not rushing. So that was my buy side. It's back under its sell side here. So this is why it's sometimes better for wait to the chase. So the money flow come in and put us in a new high too close to kind of where it's been pre-market. So we know those shorts can come in if that's weak volume. But it remains to be seen at the moment. Two things. The guys that buy this play, are we going to get it down here in the middle of this pool? Because that's a really nice play today. So if I get the color change from red to green at around just above $3, then I will add some more to this, trying to take those buy trades on as well. Okay, VVPR having a push as well. Yep. So backside of the channel, are we going to get that push? Will 950 hold? If 968 fails and closes above, then I literally don't have anything else after that. I got another benchmark out of it, which is acknowledged, but yeah, you're right. It's pushing above. Let's have a look at what mate is looking at here. INTC. So there's that break. There's the break of the sell side of the buy side pull. Final one. So the break of their 41 going down is a huge gap. It could take some days. It's a massive gap. It's down there at 36. What can we do here? So for intraday, we are looking to see if it can hold 41.29 for a continuation down. So we will put a little bit of, oh, that sounds like Tesla's crossing back up, is it? Oh, just a little bit. Okay, so it's back into, Tesla's going to be back into its buy side hold pull. VVPR. How can you tell which stock is getting the most order flow? That's the program that's running, Great Scott. It is looking at all of the stocks in the set criteria. So, example, I don't have big caps in my criteria. I have it looking at the small caps. I have it looking at a certain maximum float of below, let's say 50 million. So not micro floats, but just looking at them on a float basis as well. So, you know, have I got a small float? Am I under, say, $15? And then look for unusual speed on the tape compared to the average. Okay, just checking out DTI. Right, so DTI is being shouted out, but obviously it fits the criteria of the scanner. It is making a flurry of orders on on the tape compared to its average, but the liquidity of this guy, it's not to say it can't carry on going, but there's no volume in this actual stock on an intraday basis. It can move, but there's no volume on it. So the push can just quite easily get rejected as soon as it's on there. So there's still a kind of human filter to it. You can't just buy what's on the tape. Okay, Tesla looks like it's trying to hold up in that pool now. So let's see if it can. It's pushed right back into it. This is like the stair stepping play. So there's another play on if we can close green to red. This could be a better confirmation of this trade. I'm gutted it's so messy up the top because I can't. No, I just can't get. I can't get a read on those highs to draw anything from to see downside. I'm only going to have to go with targets on the liquidity pool right now. Did I say? Yeah, this is buy side. So buy side to fail here on Tesla. Let's see if we can't add a little bit more on Tesla. If this closes now. So I'm the gamble is with the low, right? 163.47. Let's see if we can't get a little flush off this candle now. Okay, I'll have that. So I added a bit more onto Tesla. Now we will see what we get from it. The Qs is looking pretty. The Qs. I was just about to say, is looking pretty in line with the shorts. Let's have a look. So the Q's double top in. That's 3 minutes. I don't know. We do the 3 minutes. So the Q's double top in. Where was the pre-market on the Qs? Actually, okay, let's do the Qs. I normally would do. Okay, so literally just tapped into it. It's got room up here to 440. Let's see if we can't get something off that. Tesla's literally tapped off that bottom quite aggressively now, so we'll see if that's a bull trap. NQs. So NQ, if we're looking at the NQs, the latest swing, like kind of messily not closing above, if you like. Messily not closing above here. And then the higher one, so this one, oh, I did draw it to these lows, that's fine. Let's just tidy that up. So there's another sell side up there. So look, we tapped into that buy side. I said we've got 2 on each. This one tapped out, went up to it. It hasn't yet grabbed higher liquidity up here. If it does, Tesla's going to come back with it, no doubt. Because like I said, chicken and egg, Tesla could be driving that push and driving the index if everything else seems to go with it. What's that? VNDA is being called out on the tape. So yeah, we do have buy side acknowledged again down here, and on the higher time frame, this was the dip and a potential double dip. So that's a decent area there. So I'm going to be careful on all of these. Let's just have a look across the board. VVPR, just checking. VVPR coming off now. 822's there. I wouldn't call that a hard enough flush to say it's short. Let's have a quick look. It looks like Tesla wants to go back at the moment. I'm just seeing that level is key about 164, which is pushing now. Okay, there's VVPR and breaking that sell side liquidity pool. No color change here at the moment. So no buyers coming in from a retail perspective on this one, unless it comes in here. Here we go. Let's see if that can close. So that's a foul of its initial buy side. This one didn't get tapped into. Well, there you go. It's like literally 3 levels. One in the middle and the lowest one. Let's see if it can come down to that. But that's what's causing the issue right now. So let's see if we get a color change close. Oh, yeah. It looks like it. So let's see if we get buyers in on VVPR now. That's that guy is now gone. And we would be using the last sell side liquidity to this current buy side liquidity and say, right, if we're going to continue down, sell sides have to hold, buy sides have to break. The first buy side broke. Let's see how that plays out, and we'll put an alert up there on VVPR. So dubious whether these guys would have confirmed on that. If their stop is kind of just below here, 804 to 8 would see them stopped out just below this low, prior low over here. So that could see us push through this if those stops get taken. Tesla's pushing off that level, as is the Qs. Okay, VNDA called out on the tape again. Oh, that was going to be low volume. Oh, 1 second. No, that wasn't the low volume play. So VNDA, aftermarket push. That's the liquidity switch on. Pre-market above pre-market highs, not taking into account the switch on at 562. What else we got to look at? Ugh. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to try and do that from, I'm going to do it from the open. See where we've got. Okay, Tesla's gone all the way back to its sell side liquidity. So that's the gamble you take with shorting straight from a buy pull failure. There you go. I've reached my max drawdown. Look, on 120147 for the trade. So I've been closed out of Tesla. I've been closed out of Tesla. That must have gone a lot farther and quicker than I thought. It's right back to a double top. There you go. That's how you get hit. Happens to the best of us. I'm still looking for a double top here, but that buy side took me right out. It's done me twice, Monday and Wednesday, Tesla, for a buy side liquidity pool. Gutted. Okay, let's have a look at what else we've got on. Knowledge 10 hour. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's switch this over. Give me a calendar, and I want the calendar. What do we got? Wednesday 10 ISM 52.7. So that's our purge. So that's had. So that's now going to look like the NQ is zooming off of that buy side pull, I imagine, given what Tesla's done. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Buy side liquidity pull. Hindsight now is, if I drew it in, you've got another buy side. So buy side, hold, buy side, hold, buy side, hold. Crashes through sell side. News to go with it. Yeah, a bit of a schoolboy error on that one. Not to worry. Not to worry. Damn Qs, yeah. The Qs love it, don't they? It was just as like you're hammering down, they can turn around. I was saying yesterday, a V bottom, you normally get that pullback, which is kind of what we've done ideally here. If we was on the futures, that would have been a nice trade. Like I say, you gotta be on the ball on these futures on the leverage side. The Qs would have done the same. They would have done the same. Did we get the pullback on the Qs to the same level, or did we just miss it on the Qs? No, we got it exactly the same. Tap 1, tap 2. That is an indication there that we are, we're holding. Like the sell side could be over, and the sell side on the Qs got flushed first. That was already done on the open. All right, not to worry. Let's move this over. See if we can't get something else on today. All right. Okay, back to it. VVPR. Okay, so VVPI is now working off of the highs. Sell side holding. We haven't come back for this sell side, so this will again come down because we have... Oh, but not by a lot, Okay, still up there around 890s. And at the moment, it's whether or not this can hold. So again, that's the perfect short up there. When we come back, tap into it, and then we drop. This would then be the first anticipated target, not this one, because that finished. So we're anticipating that we move through this on the second time, and that we target that. So that would have been a move from 940 to 820. So $1.20 there. And this is where our normally hard line takes some off. I don't expect it to all happen in the morning session all the way down. But if it did now, just on today's movement, from where it started to kick off on pre-market, is going to be right over here, right? So it's all going to move up. So that would be kind of the resting liquidity pool for today. What do we got there at 680s and possibly the middle there at 630s, so 650s, something like that on the half number. We would look for that gap, but ideally now the small caps love to pop. All right, so when you do the chase, similar to what I've just done on Tesla, if you're chasing the breaks, that's the more dangerous move. You're better off at, it can break, then come back for it, and then go. And that's why you find, those shorts that, short pops, as they say, that's the pop that it comes back to, and then you can carry on down from there. So let's see what we've got on VVPR today. Still above that first benchmark, bearing in mind at a buy side liquidity pool. Just listening for anything else on the tape at the moment. VNDA, I should add to the watch. So that's what I was, before I got stopped out on Tesla, this is what I was going for, right? Actually, let's put that in. Get the overlay off. Bring that down. Where was this? So pretty much there. So the push out of that manipulation zone at the bottom off to benchmark 1. Benchmark 2 sitting up at 660 now. That's 584 this. So can I get something off of 465? VNDA. So VNDA being called out on the tape as we speak. Now this guy hasn't pulled back once. This hasn't pulled back once. So the last push. So it's only consolidation plays that you can play, of which we've had, one, and then 2 on the color change and 3 on the color change to push. I'd be using kind of that low to see if we can't get a pullback. So we'll see how high that goes without pulling back so far. Yeah, that's very hot on the tape. Very hot on the tape right now, the NDA. I don't know if I put that through on actually my... Have we got Tim in the chat? Is that Tim there? You want to be added, Tim? Are you on? What else we got here? Okay, so Tesla looks like it's double topping. Let's wait. Let's see if we can't wait. This new highs, this is going to be moving up. Where's the bogey level on this one? About halfway. Hey, Tim, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I was actually just going to hang out in the back room there, backstage, and if anything came out, I was going to shout it to you. But yeah, I will say we had the positive jobs data. I don't know if you mentioned that. And then crypto as well seems to be popping. I know everything's anticipating the halving. So, everything took kind of a decent pullback, but it seems to be going now. Oh, never mind. You're in coin right As you can see, I'm deep in my list there. But yeah.
So is that all of them? Coin, Mara, the usual suspects are running there, are they? Let's have a look at Mara. Oh, not so. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they are. So Mara dropped a little bit further on that and coin.
Interesting. Yeah. So yeah, I'm deep in it. The other things I'm in today, I'll just share what I'm in today. I'm just kind of deep in that. So ARM is looking nice again today. It looks like it reclaimed. So I'm going to see if I got stopped out there. And then Disney is showing weakness again. I'm just pretty much looked for good entries on my perennials. I have a few trades that I have going, and yesterday I got kind of beat up on them, but I'm putting those in today. I also have a lot of paperwork to get caught up on today, so I'm gonna let those run. And if they don't play out, maybe I'll come back in the afternoon. But yeah, I'm long target right now. Oh, that came back down. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, ARM is looking nice. Disney's looking weak, which is good for me. FCX. Now this is interesting. You're following crypto miners. Are you looking at metal miners at all?
No, not particularly. I've got the chart.
FCX is one that's actually Justify Steven, who you know from the other day. But he was telling me about that, and that's Freeport McMoran. So they had a really strong pop off the open. They've been looking good. Yeah, I'm curious. I haven't been following. I was following gold prices for a little bit. Do you follow that at all?
I do on the kind of futures, but not on the ETFs.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm at a target for now, and as I'm going to stick to my plan, I'm going to be disciplined today, and maybe I'll try in the afternoon session for that. Hood is looking nice too, and yeah, I don't think BHC is going to pan out. I'll stay in it, but yeah, Robinhood also looking strong today. I wonder what about other fintech. Fintech was strong yesterday too, right? Yeah, Schwab, Utu. Okay. So this is interesting. Schwab looks like it's just reasonably strong. Interactive Brokers and Futu popped off the open and now have pulled back kind of back to midline on the not sure if I have Bollinger Bands or Keltners. And Hood, meanwhile, looks like it's just sort of curling up. So depends on either Hood is not participating as much as the others, or Hood has more of a Hood is reclaimed more than the others. So depends on your feeling. It might be that fintech in general had a push, but that now Robinhood is the one that's holding up, or it could be that let's see, that there could be an opportunity with IBKR and Futu, for example, to get in on that when it does reclaim. I'm just cycling back through these to see what I think. Looks like Interactive Brokers. I think of those, Schwab. I think besides Robinhood, Schwab and maybe Futu. What do you think? Let me know if you think these are even good longs at all. Actually, I'm curious if you see the same thing I see or the opposite.
So Futu, I'm seeing just a sell side pull. Just let me just go up a level here because I just want to see how dated this box is here. Okay, so that's over. So when was we looking at Futu? It must have been when it was on the big push earlier on in March. But we didn't come back and get this one based on this last high back on the 21st of March. Futu just back into its sell side up there, kind of deep into a 57.5. So then this most recent one, so we track between the two. That's all I've got is so I wouldn't have anything on this unless we broke below 53.5 or above. I wouldn't necessarily draw in that micro one. We can do that on a smaller time frame, but that's what it is on the kind of longer time frame.
Oh wow, that could be. Do you see that as just a big bull flag in general? I feel like you could draw a channel.
Yeah, you can.
You can
draw. You can draw it from
back in. Yeah,
you can draw it there. Equidistant channel coming up off the. Pull that back a little bit. You got a channel in there.
ARM is doing it. That is working out nicely for me. I'm very happy.
Nice.
So that means Intel was the one that took a hit in semis in general, right?
Yeah.
I don't have all my charts up today, so I'm kind of in light mode. But
yes, Intel currently below Yeah, broke out 141.50, which was the level called out there in pre-market, and then it's pulled back to that sell side at 41.30, and it's just working off that at the moment. It's giving itself a little bit of a trend line here in doing so. So we've got to let's see where these lows are. Yeah, again, that's just getting a bit trappy between two levels right now. So Intel, if that's going to have any, I've got a massive gap on Intel, as I was saying earlier, Tim, all the way down to 36. If we can keep like holding sell side and breaking these buy sides on the way down, I see a gap down to 36 on this. I don't have anything else holding it up in between. VNDA, back to VNDA, we have so it's pushed up there. Let's get back on the 1 minute, see where we are. So VNDA is sitting there just on the backside of that buy. So this is the one where it felt like we really wanted to chase that. It was really pushing up. We've got another consolidation play off of this 570s area with a color change and close above. And it was like, oh, I really fancy that going all the way to $6 or to the 630 on the bogey. And we're coming back for that buy side. So we'll see if we get a push down into this 550s, 530s, and then we'll look out and see if we can't hear anything on the tape on VNDA. Let's put that on. OESN. Nice spike coming off. I'm guessing that's resting liquidity for today's session if I go off these lows. Is that the high? Yeah. So that would have been the target there, resting down here. Let's see what it can do above that. So that was the one that we felt like wasn't going to go much higher looking on the higher time frame. It was just, kind of doing its thing. So that push wasn't really anything to speak of yet, given what it's done the past couple of times. Going supernova on us. It doesn't look like it's a supernova day for RVSN. All right, let's take a look back at Tesla. Let's see what we got off of that. So Tesla into the double top of the benchmark. Naughty Scott traded the break of the buy side liquidity pool and didn't wait for the comeback to at least the sell side. So yeah, got hurt on that one. I'm guessing everything else done the same, given the Qs are making new highs, at least from the open. Yeah, so new highs off of that level. Nothing to speak of in the pullback where we'd be looking for on that 2 hour. Not drawn in yet. So that buy side failed and that is move over. So that's where the momentum come down from this side. All right. So target for the morning session on NQ would be up here. We're saying 415, 8415 to 465. That's where I think it's heading for the morning session at least. So we'll see if those stair steppers can hold onto that trend before we get up there. What else we got? A similar number on the Qs for that is going to be 2 hour. $444 on the Qs. There or thereabouts. Anything else? So it's all gone quiet on the tape at the moment. VNDA was the last one to make that push. VV Booger Pip said VVPR is finding its footing. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it feels like everything's kind of just taking a breath before pushing again. We'll see how it does that. I did jump in the Futu trade here. I'm not touching target again. I am in that in options where if it goes the direction I think eventually, and those are hedged too, but intraday, if it gave up that push, and actually I have it on some levels here. Let me see where I drew these, but you can see. Get my. So yeah, I had this. Not sure when I drew this, but this zoomed. That's my way zoomed in chart, but I got a couple overlaid there. But yeah, you can see that was where I put it. So this was actually went up to the second extension out there, came back into. I think this is technically even a channel, just a very long time frame. But it came down to the 1.0 level, and then it tried to come back up to the 161 and rejected again. So it could be. Let's see here. I mean, it's still been trying to decide whether to make its way back into this long-term channel. From what I see there, but you check in on Disney as well. How's it? Yeah, it's sort of petering around. That could be a little bear flag there, but.
Yeah, Miho, that's a pretty good target on VVPR. Let's just take a quick look. Got a break there of, so we kind of used that all up in this push down. So that was essentially negated from that side. A little pullback just above it. And then now we continue the push down. So we've got a beautiful little kind of head and shoulders. Well, like, got how many head and shoulders you want? There's kind of one here, one there, and one there. And there's one right at the top here. So all into that extra daily benchmark that we drew in that we didn't have in prior. So we could see this one, thought that had blue sky potential on a supernova, drew in that daily, which sat right up in there that we then came into. Tapped into that sell side, and it's now doing its thing. This is a nice trade that we normally see in pre-market playing out in the session. But yeah, I agree with you, Nolly. I've got like 684 down here as the top side. The middle of it would be 640s. Where you said about 650 would be nice for it to rest. And then wait and see what it does, right? We need to see that turn, that curl out of that buy side and some volume with it. So at the moment, this guy is negated.
Yeah, I did break my rule. I am hopping back into target. Just one last go there. It had a real clean bounce right off the one, so it came back down to there. And if this doesn't hold, I'll probably put on a small short actually and just leave it. Just because. And I think someone in our chat has actually mentioned that's kind of a trick they do is they'll try twice for their initial thesis, and then if it's that rejects twice, then they'll flip the other direction and then just ride that. So, and Target seems one of those that's good for that strategy because it'll it'll kind of pop and then run, or just give it up and then keep slipping all throughout the day. So,
and that's one of your go-tos, Target, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And why is that out of kind? What is it? Is it always, what's the catalyst, or you just find that it's got the momentum that you like to play every day? Or not every day,
I mean, I was bearish on them for a decent while. Just they were caught up in some of the culture war stuff, and they were also just retail in general. I have sort of a I guess there's some narrative that inflation is abating, spending's fine. I have a little more contrarian view on that, but their balance sheet also, like the consensus was that it wasn't very great, and then their earnings. I had that Bark comment before, but yeah, it was basically being in Target around Christmas time, and I had a hunch that things were going to play out well. And then once they had their earnings call, yeah, they just popped and have been running since then. But it could be that they're running out of steam now. We'll see. I should check in on Bark actually. Let's see what that looks like here. My dog. I'll check in on my dog toy names. That could be a nice catch too. They have. This is one of those that I also do daily when I have a good entry. I have kind of a stable of things. I don't do too much swing trading on Trade the Pool. I will kind of look for good entries daily, and then what I try to do is re-enter if and when I see good entries. I'm a little more stubborn than I should be for my own good. But yeah, this one I had when they had their earnings, that played out kind of exactly as I thought. They got a nice strong pop on it, but then they've been kind of fizzling since then. So I've tried this a few times. They've had a few good days, but I've been holding $1.50 calls for April, and this isn't looking.
Oh, have you?
I'm actually curious. This is what I'm curious on your take as well, because this is one of those where I get like kind of the hunch that there's something going on in the price. Like it feels like it's wanting to. It feels like there's accumulation going on, being disguised with pushes down in the price. If that makes sense. So I'm curious if your tools would tell you anything more on this than I see. I'm not feeling good about it today, though. I don't think it'll. It's a nice pullback, but I don't think it's a pullback that it'll bounce from. We'll see.
And this is on ARM, right?
Oh no, this is Bark. Sorry, no, ARM is strong today. Let me hide my extended trades. I'm gonna check in on Woof also, which is Petco, I think. I think there's one more someone mentioned to me, and I forget the. If anyone in the YouTube chat knows the other dog toy ticker, I'm trying to remember. Oh, what happened to Petco?
Petco?
Yeah, Woof. Did they just have earnings on the 13th? But they had a gap down. Not a gap down, but just what's going on here with these guys?
Bark. So are you chalking accumulation intraday or
on Bark? I was talking more just over the, I guess, medium term. Like it seems like in the quarter range that there's accumulation going on. I'm gonna look up and see if there's any news on Woof though. I meant to keep an eye on those together. And yeah, if anyone in the chat knows, here's an interesting thing. It doesn't do much for us with if there's no ETF for it. I have heard rumors of a Litecoin ETF, but it may be just rank speculation at this point. But Dogecoin, I have a feeling we're not going to get an ETF of. But I did see a comment where someone was asking if Dogecoin could be a tipping option on X. So soon you might be able to show your appreciation for the Trade the Pool broadcast. But yeah, one of the developers, he said he'd see what he could do. So it was a random comment, and he's like, "Yeah, I might code it up." So who knows if that'll go anywhere? But that could, that could ignite a whole meme frenzy. And that could, obviously play back into things like Hood, especially. Forget where I was. The tie-in was with that. Oh, woof! That reminded me of Dogecoin. Mumu was I was looking it up, and it was saying that it asked if Dogecoin has lost its woof, and that made me remind.
Yeah, Bark, I'm not seeing accumulation down at the moment. I'd expect it more down around $1.
Mm-hmm.
I would say on Bark.
By the way, your screen's not showing. I think.
Yeah, so I think Bark topped out up the benchmark. So the benchmark 2 was above it, but like I say, there wasn't the momentum on this to get up there. So this is just buy side liquidity pull down here between 115 and 1. So generally midpoint of 110. That's where I'd expect it to kind of work for a while before it, if it's going to come back up again and make for 190. Yeah, a little bit lower for me. I'd want on that one.
Yeah, so Petco, I looked at that. So it looks like they got double downgrades from Bank of America Securities, long-term market share risk. So let me see who they say is the one to have. Fail to open. All right, open via browser. Yeah, what do you think of Petco? Apparently, they've slowed opening new vet hospitals, differentiate the company versus peers. Consumers have migrated to online and broadline competitors. So Amazon, Chewy, and Walmart are the ones they list. So I don't think there's other like in-person retailers. But, yeah, I mentioned that was what put me onto Bark, and to a lesser extent Target, was the dog toy aisle there got just cleaned out. A friend of mine works at some dog toy or dog accessories place called Best Day Ever. Been meaning to check that out. I don't know if it's local or a chain. I'm going to check out Chewy as well. Let's see how Chewy is looking today.
Okay. Just checking Woof on the weekly.
Ooh, Chewy strong gap down and then took a hit like many. Strong bounce, although declining volume. It's coming up against the yesterday's close price. Chewy is.
I don't see anything on Woof apart from literally what it's done today, which is like a little spike there.
And then there was a gap down on the first. Let's see if there was news on Chewy. Of course, Chewy is one of those weird ones you have to be a little careful with because they get tied in with the meme stock frenzy, sort of a side. No, but I wonder what happened. Was that just the market as a whole, or?
Yeah, none of them look like upside potential at the moment. I mean,
what about Chewy for you though? What does this look like? It looks like it could have. It looks like it. So this kind of setup, it looks like it was. I'd have to zoom out a little more, but it looks like it was in maybe a downtrending channel, right? Line here, and then maybe it undercut the previous low of yesterday slightly and popped right back up. You can see it less on when it's zoomed out like this, but the volume is declining on that push up though, so that would make me.
Yeah, still in low volume. Let me see what I've got at the top at the highs on this.
On Chewy?
Yeah.
How are the others? TQQQ. Yeah, future day trader billionaire. So yeah, we are going to be in the Discord. And I should actually probably hop off in a couple minutes so I can get ready for that. But yes, in the Discord at noon, we'll be getting on there. We're going to discuss the jobs numbers from ADP today and our outlook going into Friday's non-farm payrolls. Wait, Thursday or Friday?
Friday.
It is Friday, yeah. I'm still booting up this morning. And yeah, we'll be watching Powell's speech together. I think it's tied into Stanford. I have the link for in the Discord, but I think it's Stanford that's hosting that forum.
Gotcha. So you was asking on Chewy. So Chewy, based off of the highs, so 67.12, then we use the backside of 50.35. So we're getting in that benchmark areas, which is using 18.45 as that first level. There's another one down at well, no, don't want to go any lower than that. Yeah, no, that's it. That's Chewy needs to come back from here, really. I mean, it has got lower, but the deepest depth of it would be non-existent. So $5 would be the next stop for it if it can't hold here. Which, I mean, the most recent tap into those moving averages and color change are kind of 17. Yeah, I mean, you need a volume bar at least off this 15s area to get bullish on Chewy, I think.
Let's see. Future day trader, how do you sign up for the Discord? So the easiest way is to sign up for a free trial account. If you join Trade the Pool, hub.tradethepool.com, then you will get a free 14 calendar day trial account, so you can try out the platform. And then if you go in the dashboard for that, there should be a Discord link. It has been a little bit bogged down. There's a new version coming out soon, just with the volume of signups. So I'm going to see if I can make a referral link directly for the Discord too, and I'll just pop that in as my little banner here.
So is that the only way to get in the Discord then, Tim? You haven't got an invite link as such?
No, I'm just going to make a new invite link now, and I'm just going to put it on the scrin. Seems the simplest way to do it right off the bat.
Is there a timeout on that invite link?
I was going to probably. I think it times out after a week, so It should be good for anyone who timely views the rerun. If someone goes through the archives next year, they might need to get a fresh one, but. If you hit either of us up on Twitter, I'm sure we can get you one, or the Trade the Pool link, Trade the Pool Twitter account itself, which is now just Trade the Pool. I see that they got rid of the number one, so even though it is the number one stock trading prop firm, in my humble opinion,
it is. I don't know any others that actually have the breadth of, of ticker choice in any case.
I mean, the only one that I knew of is FTMO, and they have 12 stocks, and Trade the Pool has 12,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's definitely the focus. But their focus is more the Forex stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas the Fivers, it's got both arms.
So VVPR then still looking for his 680s. I think it's literally, there's that retail play, like the channel, color change, close below the green, and then you're down, and then similar thing here, just on the momentum side, just really nicely kind of doing its thing. So I wouldn't expect any kind of reversal if it does reverse off of until it gets to this 6.5. Remember, this is the 2-day play, so it's so that's the kind of resting liquidity for yesterday. This would be the resting liquidity for today. That doesn't mean it can't make another push up. So, like I said, we've got benchmark for yesterday, the benchmark today now, and we'll see what happens when it gets down to 650. But any push up out of here may not be until pre-market tomorrow, if it's going to do it. If it's not going to turn into fade and backside completely. VNDA is really the only other recent one. What time was that? Okay, not so long ago. And that is off as well. So that's just got a little part. That's in its buy side pool at the moment at 530s. So we'll see. That's just holding its momentum so far. Was there a... Yeah, so that they've just been stopped, or they get another chance, right? So that one there, that little stop out of these red to green move. See if we get another one here. Sometimes you get two in the same area. But this kind of play is different for me based on what these moving averages are doing. Like they're turning over already. The best play off these moving averages is when, it's when they're on the upward rather than curling round. But in any case, if those longs would have been stopped on that push, I imagine. So let's see if that continues down on VNDA. What the Q's doing, or the NQs. Okay, so they got there. So literally, that is the sell side's got a break, obviously, on momentum for it to do. So it's buy side liquidity pool, failed the sell side, momentum push up, a little resting point, and then back to that 18,400 level that we spoke about 30 minutes ago. So yeah, that's the play for the NQ for me now. Now I'd just simply be drawing. So we had two buy sides, this one and that one. They both held. So I'd be drawing the most recent one, literally taking it to the highs to see if we have a chance of coming back now to 310, 18,310. But time of day is going to play a little part of this now. So we are, we could accumulate up here. We can put in another high. We can put head and shoulders in up here before we drop. So just be careful of that. Tim, what you got?
Oh, just BHC is actually popping again too. The volume falling off a little bit. It's not too high generally, but this is one of those. Just for background, the thesis on this one, it's a long-term one, was originally with the spin-off of BLCO from Bausch & Lomb, the eye care products and stuff, that eventually there would be a share distribution from the spin-off. It was held up by some legal things, but they had a new CEO, I believe, and they seem to be backpedaling a little bit on that commitment. But then every so often it seems like it's getting ready to gear up and go. So that one's gotten meme status.
Okay.
But by the way, speaking of memes in the chat and our Discord event, so I did put the Discord link up here. It's just as my little profile title right now. I will be popping off in a minute to take care of a few things, so go ahead and jot that down. But there is a special treat today, because besides that we're going to watch that, the Lone Wolf is back. So he is one of our wonderful volunteer hosts for the trading chatter. So if you like that active trading discussion patter, that's a great place to be. It's a lot of fun. So we've always got something going on, but he always livens that up. So the chat is currently full of wolf memes.
That's not. So what did you say the nick was? Wolf.
The Lone Wolf.
The Lone Wolf. Oh right, okay.
Yeah, has he come on? I thought he came on once, or was going to.
I don't recall that nick, to be honest. I think I would have. Obviously, I remember Rocco, Steve, the Lone Wolf. Not sure.
I think I'm trying this Chewy thing. I can notice myself I'm not positioned quite the same with the camera as I was before, so I notice myself going out of frame. It's kind of reminding me I need to have good head posture. Yep.
He says as I'm just leaning over the side of my chair there as well.
I wonder how much of our audience, let's get a poll maybe, or how many of our audience trades on laptops or phones versus desktops? We just had some chat also, people were talking about trading workstations and synergy and stuff. So we've got a few people with multiple machines, multiple monitors, the whole battle station mission control setup. But I know a lot of people like the laptop thing. I used to hunch over a laptop a lot when I was younger, but laptop with TV. Oh, interesting. Christine, are you the TV to watch this show or to watch Bloomberg or something, or you have your laptop displaying on the screen as well? Yeah, I'm kind of biased with you, Trader Life. Although I do say with the Trade the Pool mobile app, I will use that for putting in trailing stops and a few other things. So it's a nice companion, is my approach, because I can sit at the desk and then I can just kind of quickly fiddle and drag that around. Sometimes it's quicker than doing that. Okay, cool. What I need to get going is...
Sorry, yeah, Tim, before you go, did you post that Discord in the chat? I can't see it.
I put it in the private chat here, so if we can, if you or Gil knows how to make that into a little banner element, but it's my display name on the screen right now.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, I'll read it. It's discord.gg/ all caps Delta Whiskey Quebec Tango, and then all lowercase uniform Quebec Golf Romeo.
All right, nice.
Yeah. I'm probably going to switch.
Futures Day Trader, desktop with 27-inch monitor plus a 55-inch TV. Right, now do you have one chart on that 55-inch TV, or have you got like 12? Two. Okay, man. And answer your question, I can't guarantee it's going to get above 750, but the bogey level and benchmark 2 is up there. Yeah, it's just whether or not Tesla, like I said, it's kind of benchmark 2 is normally a small cap level, a crypto level, maybe FX on a news day, maybe, but generally not. But or a news day. But generally, the bigger caps like to stick at or around the first benchmarks and the liquidity pools. But that's not to say it's holding its own up here, right? It's not. It is accumulating a little bit. It's tested the backside of this benchmark, and for me, it's just all about at this stage whether or not it wants to come back and grab the buy side down here, right? So yeah, that's the question, is whether we can hold above the benchmark or does it want to come down to the buy side. That's now over and out. We should point out it didn't need to come back and get it down here. Right, that was at 164, so this push didn't come back down and get it, so it doesn't necessarily mean it needs this one. But yeah, whether or not it needs to go straight above 160 to 168, not at this point. Yeah, agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see what it's got. Let's see what it's got.
In fact, I'm actually grabbing my phone. I'm going to put in some trailing stop losses on ARM.
Oh, just okay, gotcha. Okay, what else we got running on here? Anything else? There's nothing. So the tape's pretty good. The only one I've kind of ignored today that did come up was JZXN. Don't know if anyone else has seen that on their scanners. Nah, nothing to do there. Obviously, it's had some, has had the volume pumping around for some reason, but it's not doing anything. Just looks awful to me. RVZN, that's played down and through its benchmark. So it's a resting benchmark for RVSN for a next target. If anyone wants to short the pops on the way down to this one, oh no, it's there. There's not enough room in it really. You go down to 195. Not a lot of play in that for me. I know that is it. ABIO still. Still sitting this initial buy side. It's got another one sitting down here at 2s. And let's see if that can break this afternoon. So one to take away on ABIO for the short side. That's the key level there between kind of 350 and 370. So sell side pool sitting up here. So is there a one to short here if you can hold and get some rejection close below for the move down to 220. Else, be careful after lunch. We didn't ever break those kind of pre-market highs here. So after lunch, we have been seeing those cheeky little pushes up and then the run into an hour before the close. And then it returns from 5 and comes all the way back down to 2. So just watch out for that. If not, short the pop at 350. ABIO, nice. Qs, let's quick look back. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's JZXN again. So what is going on there? What causes that? I have no interest in this, but
Jizzy Holdings. What is that ticker? JZXN.
I mean, it's got nothing at all.
Try to learn.
It's obviously just had some. Oh, it was an IPO.
Non-binding letter of intent for the acquisition of Shenzhen Maigasong. Maigasong Electric.
All I'll say is it's the first red day yesterday. So I'd expect this foul of this momentum that it's been having on the dailies to foul at 320. It's currently at 350. I don't know why that's halting at where it is now, why it's doing that price action. That to me.
Well, it looks like that. So the news, let's see. The internegotiations March 18th. And then today they announced a binding letter of intent. So I wonder if it's just to sell the news kind of thing. In fact, yeah, the insiders might have been selling yesterday. And then today is the actual sell the news. I don't know what Shenzhen Maigasong Electric does, but or GUZ Holdings.
Not a lot of interest on it. I mean, it looks like it's a short from here on out. It's just it looks like this is normal price action for it during the day, which is just awful. But on the daily, it doesn't look bad if you can sit through that awful.
Okay, GUZ is retail stores that sell new energy vehicles. So, which I noticed they don't say electric, so it might include, battery operated as well as a few plug-in electric vehicles upon demand from vehicle buyers. So, it could be interesting. What about Go EV? If we compare those, or Easy Go, sorry.
Wow. They're on the NASDAQ?
Not for long, apparently.
Jeez.
They've got a delisting. I think I saw. Yeah, minimum bid price deficiency was announced October 23. So I'm not sure what how long they get to.
180 days, I think.
Yep.
IPO'd.
Oh, yeah. April. Oh, until April 15th to regain compliance.
Oh, they've got a lot of work to do. Look out for EZGO on a reverse
reverse split incoming, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was impressed though by the IPO. They didn't. They were real strong for a day or two, and they didn't do an immediate secondary offering. So I expected a Chinese EV company. I expected them to just right away, but in respect, they didn't. All right, I've trimmed a little bit from my arm, and I have scalped some profit off of BHC. Just orders getting filled. That's going nicely.
I'll tell you what. Let's do the recap. We've got 2 or 3 minutes to go. Let's do the recap. Mine's not a great one today, but we'll look at yours and see what you've got as well, Tim. So we'll just hit there now. Okay, so let's get mine over and done with first. It was Tesla. It took me out my max stop today. That is what happens when I stream and trade at the same time. Let's grab it back up if I can. I can show you on here as well. So it's the second time I've kind of not followed my process on Tesla this week, and twice it's burnt me. This was my go-to stock. We're not feeling so friendly with it at this point, but let's have a look. So there was the buy side liquidity pool. Did I even have anything down there? Oh yeah, I'm looking for the gap. There was a big gap. I didn't have anything else between 163 and 160, but it was just a little fake out, unfortunately, that I got caught with. But my main issue was this one here. So added on the anticipation, added on the close below, and then wasn't clearly looking at that. I was looking at the NQ, could see that pump, and then literally took me out with my loss on the day. So yeah, taken out on my behalf for me because it did pump even higher. So that's the good thing about those automatic losses. When they come in, they take you out. You don't have a choice about it, but it mitigates those losses for anything further. Tim, hand over to you, and let's see what you got on AMD. You got the stage. Oh, I've lost you on mic. Oh,
sorry.
There you go.
So it looks like Target is inching back up. Futu, middling progress as well. ARM, I don't know. That looks like it could catch and keep pushing, but I've got those trails there. I've got one last trailing stop down where my initial stop was, but I'll trim 3/4 of my initial position with partials if need be. And what else do I have? I'm rocking a couple accounts right now. It looks like, Disney's poking around. That short isn't doing too well, but Chewy is still inching its way up. So if it can push up into that gap, might see move up to 16 or 16.10. We'll see.
Cool. So you said you got a couple of accounts there. Are you copying those? Well, clearly not from looking at these, but can you copy those?
No. So these are, and we're working to get a little more clarification on those details. But yeah, the policies currently, these are 160K accounts, and I don't believe that copying is allowed between them. I used to do a strategy where I would go in with a larger trade on one side and then a smaller one on the other for more long term. So I actually need to find out if that runs into this, or if that can be made to fall into it. But as it stands, it counts as copy trading if you enter within 30 minutes of the other. So you can put on you could resume your long-term trade, right at the open, and then, come 10 o'clock, you could go in the other account for more active day trading if you want. But just popping it into all your accounts at once, they don't, the risk desk flag that as something they don't like to see too much. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so now they're separated into portfolios, basically.
Yeah. No worries. Gotcha. That's a decent idea. That I quite like that. Okay. All right. So thank you everyone for coming along today. Futures Day Trader, Billionaire Trader Life. Christine, Martin. Who else we got there? Me, Al. Thanks for coming on. Nolly as usual. Thank you all. Booger Pups is there as well. Great, Scott. Great to have you all in today. Thanks for coming along. Well, that's it for the week for us, being a Wednesday. We will be back live on Monday. We'll let you know what we've got on there as soon as we know. Take a look over at Discord with Tim. He's given you the link there, so that would be great. And give us a like and a subscribe as well if you enjoyed the show today. But in the meantime, from me and Tim, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you Monday. Cheers.
Cheers.